Today, I'm going to show you how to inject a brisket. Folks, I'm going to show you the injections I use, the injector I use, and then I'm going to show you a very easy way to get this brisket trimmed up, seasoned up, and onto my ugly drum smoker, or you can use it on whatever pit you got. So stick around and see how we do that. I am Chef Johnny, and this is Texas Style Barbecue and Cuisine. Appreciate you stopping by. Hey, and like I said, we're going to show you how we inject a brisket. It's an easy process. It's not tough at all, but you can screw it up if you don't do it right. So I'm going to show you what to do so you can get a wonderful, tasty, moist brisket out. I've got 3 injections up here just showing you what I use. I've got Angry Bull from LC Barbecue, Play Bull from LC Barbecue, and Reserve Blend for Kosmos. All are great, fantastic injections. Can't go wrong with any of the 3 of them. They'll impress friends, they'll impress judges at a cook-off. So just to let you know that. Today I'm going to use the Angry Bull, and we're going to show you how we mix that up. Today it's going to be brisket injecting 101. So come in here close, let me show you how we do it. As you can see, this is a nice pretty 14 pounds, just a little bit over. It's got some nice marbling, looks like it's running through the meat. My wife does a pretty good job of picking out briskets, I can tell you that. To make up my injection, I've got a shaker here I'm going to use, and it works good. Got this off the Kosmos website. Y'all can find them at your grocery store. You can find them at Kosmos if you want to. But I'm going to take it, that helps you mix it up, take that out. And I'm going to put a ½ cup of Angry Bull into my shaker here. And no, it's not exact, folks. I'm just kind of eyeballing it. If I was at a comp, I would get an exact amount. Do things a little different, but that's going to work there. Screw on my lid. Make sure my lid's snapped and just shake it up real good. There's a lot of different injectors you can use. Here's the one that I use. You can find these online just about anywhere. Maybe one in my Amazon store. Not sure if there is or not, but you can look in there. But find your favorite barbecue supply, and there you go. You can get one of those, or you can just use one of these. And I got 2 different needles. I don't know if y'all can see those. Maybe I can hold them up here to this camera. You can see them. One has holes in the side and one doesn't. I like the one that does not better. I feel like you get more staining with the one where it comes out the sides, and it's a little bit bigger. So you can use one of these. You can use one of these. I also have a pump up chops injector that I use when I have big jobs and I'm injecting pork butts or something like that. So we're gonna just use this one today. And what I do is I come in here, take the lid off, just put your injector in your solution, lift up on the plunger, it's full. This one actually has a little dial on it. Y'all can maybe see this right here. And what that does is it regulates how much injection goes in on each pull. I usually just leave it at the top on 5, put in however much I think. Now, we're gonna go across our grains. If you look, our grains coming this way, so we're gonna go across grain. First place I'm gonna go is right in this corner, and I'm gonna squeeze in, and on my way out, I'm still squeezing in. And I just make a little grid pattern, and about every inch I put it in, and I'm putting, maybe a ½ a squeeze, maybe 2 to 3 cc's in each one. Y'all can see that coming out of there. We're gonna inject this brisket up here where there's gonna be plenty in it. And that's just it slipping between the grains of meat. And this flat, the reason we're getting it good first is because it is the lean end. It does not have as much moisture in it naturally, so that's why we want to make sure we inject it. That point, that big fat end, that's where the fat is in a brisket. That's the flavor up in there, and that is the moisture. See it coming out of all these other holes? That's what we want to see. Sometimes if you hold your finger on them, right when it comes out, it's not, it'll stay in there a little bit better. Just hold it for a second, take it off, there we go. Put your finger right there. Now the flat's injected pretty good. If we want to put some up in this point, we can do that. Turn it over and work a little bit in. Got a little injection left. I can come back in here if I want to, and remember this is our angle. Just put a little bit in from this side. Just kind of random squirts just to finish off what I have left. And again, this gets pretty thin, comp brisket. I'd probably trim that up some more, but this is backyard. Not sure how much more this can hold. It's taking it. I think I'm gonna call that good since I squirted myself there. Anyways, this looks pretty good. I think I'm gonna leave it like that. I'm gonna pat this dry and then we're gonna show you how we season it. You can see I cleaned up my injection. That was, always use a tray. It keeps that injection from going everywhere. But I'm just gonna pat dry right here. If you don't pat dry, you don't have to, but to me it seems like you lose some of your bark with that injection all over. It's just too wet. Today I'm not going with a binder. I'm just gonna put my rub straight on. I'm gonna start on my fat cap, and I'm gonna come in first with some cow cover. Give myself a nice coating of cow cover on here. And I tell you what, I may not do it on every layer, but on this first layer with the cow cover, that's when I want to make sure I get my edges. All right? Get your ends, get your edges. Of course, we can get some of them when we turn it over. There's a nice layer of cow cover. Coming back on top of that with some Dirty Bird. I'll tell you what, if you like a little bit of heat, Dirty Bird Hot works really good on this layer right here. And don't worry about over seasoning this. This is a great big piece of meat. It'll hold a lot of seasoning. One of the old guys that I used to learn barbecue from always said, when you think you have too much rub on a brisket, put on just a little bit more. All right. And now just a dusting of our Texas beef. Got some nice salt, pepper in there. It's good season way to finish this off. All right, that edge is done. I'm gonna turn it over. Now that we have it flipped, we're gonna come back, cow cover again on top. Got a nice coating of cow cover on here to start off with. Now we're gonna come back, Dirty Bird. And this time, I'm gonna get these edges with Dirty Bird. Got them with cow cover last time, right? And our last is our Texas beef. Just a light coating of that. And there you go. Brisket ready to, I'm gonna set it back in the fridge, let it sweat out a little bit, and then we're gonna get on the ugly drum smoker. So let me show you how I set that up. Just got this handy new toy here, a grill gun from grillblazer.com. But I tell you what, folks, it gets hot in a hurry. Light it up. You could play with this and have some fun. Turn it back off. But it comes, you can use these 1 pound containers, or you can get a hose for it where you can hook it to a regular propane tank. And so we've been using this some, lit up the pit makers with it. Works great, use the hose for those, but just for this scenario, I got the 1 pounder on there, and easy to light. I'm gonna bring it up and go down and get on our Fogo charcoal. It's the Fogo Premium Lump. Loving this charcoal, it burns clean, it doesn't pop a lot, and I think you'd like it too. So check out Fogo, but let's see if we can light this up. Y'all get in here close and let me show you. And there you go, it's lit. We come in here now and I'm just gonna lay some mesquite in here, some chunks of mesquite. I like a nice mesquite on my, I think those 3 will probably be enough. and we'll get this into our ugly drum smoker. Just got my high heat gloves. And I set the fire right in between my two intakes. Open them up all the way. Put in my diffuser plate. And my grate. We'll bring this up to 275, then we'll get that brisket on. Pit's at 275. Brisket is sweated out nicely. We're gonna get it on here fat side down and get it to cooking. We'll put this brisket on here. And folks, I'm gonna take it and kind of scrunch it together. Just like that, I like that. Fogo charcoal, mesquite. It's gonna be a great brisket. See you in a few hours. We'll get back with you when it's time to wrap this brisket. It's been about 4.5 hours. I'm liking the color of this. A lot of y'all know I wrap to color. When it looks right, that's when I wrap it. So it's got a good color on it. I think I can live with this one. So I'm gonna get off the butcher paper, show you how we wrap it up in butcher paper, get it back on there for, I'd say maybe another 2 hours. So let's get us some butcher paper out. I've got 24-inch paper on a brisket that's not too long. It's enough. This one is still doubled up a little bit, so I'm just gonna fold it over. And I like to go, anywhere from half to all the way across it the first time. I'll take my paper, fold it tight on here. If the wind's blowing, this can be a job, I'll tell you that right now. But take this and fold it well. Other side, fold it well. Make it fold there about wide as your brisket. Now, take it and tuck it right there. Once you tuck it, then you can roll. If you don't get that tuck, it's going to be a little bit loose. This is the bottom. I want it back on the top. So here we go again. Nice and tight. Now, just take this part. Some people have cut that off. I'm just going to fold it back under. That's going back onto the pit, just like it is. I figure about another 2 hours. Could be 3, but we're 4.5 hours in. I was figuring 7 to 8, so we're right on schedule. Let's get this back on the UDS. I bet you it's time to get this off. We're going to see how it feels, and then we'll judge from there. Just kind of tell it's soaking oil through, but it feels pretty good. I think I'm going to take it off. This needs to sit and rest for a little while, so I'm just going to take it, put it out in the barbecue trailer in a warming cabinet I have there, let it sit there, and in about an hour, hour and a half, we'll come try to slice this baby up and see how she turned out. That is a pretty brisket. Look at that. I'll sample that piece, it broke off. Our grains are running this way, so ideally you cut it just like this. Now, if you have a brisket that's too tender, let me tell you a secret. Cut it like this and the grains help hold it together too much. Little trick right there. I'm just gonna come in here and slice it up here on the point. See how this turns out. Oh yeah, look at that. Man, oh man. Y'all are gonna like this. Open that up for you. That is a beautiful brisket. Now I'll tell you what, you see people do these videos and they push on them, and if you have fat side up and the decal up there, let me tell you what, that moisture's running out of this down on it, not necessarily running out of the meat. So when people squeeze a brisket real hard, that's what they're doing, but that's pretty. It's got a good texture to it. It is lovely, got a nice smoke ring on it. There's just nothing wrong with that at all. That is a pretty brisket. That is a tender brisket. That is a moist brisket. And I tell you what, beautiful mahogany color. on here. If I go about a 1/4 inch slice, let's see how this slices off here. I'm gonna get my cutting board out in a second, but right now we're just gonna slice that like that. Pick this up. Man, like I said, it still is hot. Guys, that is just pretty. No other way to describe it, but just a pretty brisket, without a doubt. Take that off. Show you what a comp slice would look like on here. And look at that. There you go. And that's really a little bit thicker than a comp slice. Cut off a couple of pieces of this point. I'm gonna give it a try. Tell you what, it's still a little bit warm too. Stand that up there. Keeps the oxygen off of it, keeps it from graying up on us, but see if we can get a few slices off of here. Guys, that's pretty brisket. There you have it, guys. Had a great brisket today, packed full of moisture, packed full of flavor. Very good. And just to remind you, we used some Angry Bull from LC Barbecue, and I told you I'd tell you how to get a discount. The way you do that is put in this code CJ10. If you do that, they're going to give you 10% off your products, and you find them on Facebook. They sell everything, so just look, search LC Barbecue. I'll put a link down below so you can find it also. But remember, CJ10 gets you 10% off. I don't make a cent off of it, but Philip Breeden, the guy that developed this, nice guy, #1 cook in the IBCA here in Texas this year, International Barbecue Cookers Association. So, hey, this is a proven product from him. Then we came in with some cow cover. We know Kosmos is solid, guys. On top of that was some Dirty Bird, and then we had a little Texas beef. But a great brisket, turned out fantastic, packed full of flavor, moist. I don't know what else you could want in a brisket. This one's fantastic. It's beautiful. I'm going to get out of here right after I taste this, but I'm going to come in and take a little sample for the camera. Moist, tender. Couldn't ask for much more in a well-cooked brisket, guys. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Remember to tell your friends and family about us. Share us on your social media. And I'm going to see you down the road on Texas Style Barbecue and Cuisine. Goodbye, everybody.
How them boys put food away beats all I've ever seen.